Hey friends, so can't stop, won't stop. So with all the pun intended, I don't know why all this puffy stuff has been on my tarot table for the last 3 years, but I can't stop now. So dream state last night, and I posted on the community tab that Andy Cohen made a guest appearance. I just realized, that now past 12 hours since the dream, a lot of the exchange that happened in the dream with Andy Cohen had a lot to do with video recordings. It took me a minute to kind of put it together. I didn't look at the recordings as significant. It was just so much the person and, a transaction that was going on that caught me right out the gate. But the actual item that was being purchased were recordings. It seemed like it was a printout of like a listing. It could have been like an eBay listing. So that kind of lets me know that it could be like a form of money laundering, possibly. And then something that hit me also too was I had to show a receipt. I don't know who I was in the dream. I mean, I was a filler in to get the information, but I had to show proof of the money being received, which it means that somebody would have sent me money. And whoever these people are who had the videotapes listed or the recordings listed, they were looking to see a receipt of the money being sent to me. The only thing is, Andy was standing beside me and I'm frantically looking in my phone to find proof that I received the money to be able to show these people. And these people happened to be two Asian masculines. They were the ones that were looking for payment. The money was sent to me, mind you, but I had to pay them. Like, I'm assuming I would have had to make some sort of transfer to them. So I feel like possibly with the money laundering and maybe using like an online listing service, doesn't have to be a third party like eBay, but it could be any kind of third party. But the beautiful part about Bitcoin is that it cannot be traced. I feel like this would have been sort of like a Bitcoin to cash or Bitcoin to cash transaction, meaning it's sent from a Bitcoin account, which they would never be able to prove, who it came from. And then it was intercepted by me. I was able to see actually the numerical digits of the amount of money. I know it was like a 200. That could have been 200,000. It could have been $200. I just don't remember the significance of the decimal point right now. But what I can tell you, the pressure Andy was putting on me to find this money. Like, I'm walking with my phone because I was headed to go do something else. It was like I had another thing happening in the dream state that was also significant, but it had nothing to do with the Andy Cohen and these videotapes situation. But I was trying to walk away, but still like be taskful in finding this receipt. But he is like breathing like on my shoulder into my phone, wanting me to find the proof of receiving this money. So I would say, you guys, all in all, obviously I had messenger duties for the last 3 years and I can't stop now. So if I'm still receiving this energy, I need to still put it out. It still has to be helpful to someone if I'm receiving the messages. So I know that that's what I'm supposed to do. This has nothing to do with me. I've never met these people. I don't know anything about any of these people on a 3D personal level, but I have been receiving like investigator energy of messages to put out, and therefore I never denied you all of anything I was receiving. I never doubted one bit. But here we are 3 years, 2 years, a year later, and it's playing out. There's stuff in the readings that has not even occurred yet that is on the pipeline to occur. So anyway, I feel like there's some blackmail going on. Excuse me. If there are these so-called celebrities who participated in these rituals. I'll just say rituals. I'm not going to sugarcoat it by, Diddy's in the corner pleasuring himself while all these men are, having sex with Cassie. No, that was a ritual. You can't convince me otherwise. It sounded like a ritual from the jump. Even when we were talking about rituals and this sexual sort of energy harvesting. Who were we talking about? Now we know. We know exactly who we were talking about. And y'all, the crazy part is, this isn't just done at Diddy's house. This is done all over the world. This is done in organizations. This is done in sororities, fraternities, covens. This is done. This is what they do. This is now should not be a secret. It should now be a household topic, so that you can let your children know that there are people like this out there, and this is how they get ahead. This is how they feel they can obtain a lot of things that really don't matter at the end of the day. To them, they do matter, but to people like you and I who are spiritually awakened, that stuff it doesn't matter to us, but to them, that's all they need. But they'll use each other to siphon power or take power from others, because it's power for them. It's power for the organization that they represent. It's power overall for them to be on top. But you guys, I feel like the more we know, the better we can see. We're no longer blinded to what it is, excuse me, that is being done to try to sacrifice us on whatever level that is. So with these celebrities wanting to make payments so they can receive the footage and destroy it, or whatever they're going to do with it, or have a third party destroy it for them, whatever that is, I feel like that's what's happening now by way of that dream state. I don't know what the whole thing of having to show proof of money received to show to these Asian men. So whatever happens from that standpoint, that transaction, I'm unaware, because I couldn't find receipt of the money. I know I received it. I never denied I received it. I just had to pay it forward. I had to move the money toward them, or somehow I had to show proof of it. And I never found it in the dream state. So that's kind of where I'm lost in regards to how this transaction even goes, or how it ends even. But I know that the tapes are available, whether they're digital, whether it's, like I said, on a third party listing. And the thing about eBay, and I don't know if you're familiar, but the money laundering comes in at when you see something silly or simple go for a ridiculously high amount of money. Case in example, if you're ever on eBay, put in like the most that I know of, because I come from also a reseller standpoint. I've been reselling things since I'm a child, so I know about this. I don't know about the laundering part, but I'm aware of why these listings go for unreasonable amounts of money. Is because they're money laundering. They'll put the VHS tape of Sleeping Beauty up there and say it's rare, it's this quality, that quality, and you see it sold for $13,000. Somebody who's a newbie, they get gassed and say, oh my God, look at that. I need to run out and try to find the Sleeping Beauty. No. And once you find it and you put it up there, you're not going to get $5 for it. That's because that was a setup. They set that up because they're moving money in that way. But see, now you have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very popular. I mean, they have coins that even are unrecognizable on the exchange. That because it's set up that way. It's for laundering dark web purposes. So anyway, maybe the dark web has a lot to do with how that wound up in the dream state. I don't know, y'all. I didn't get through it to even find out. But y'all, keep the recordings going. If you feel there's something on your chest you need to let out, that's because you're the messenger. You are responsible for letting that message out. So a lot of those times when I got on recording and had the tarot cards going, Diddy was popping up consistently. And I can say that now because before I would tell y'all, I don't want to mention a name. I don't clout chase, but I knew what I was feeling. I know what I was being shown. And this was 2 years ago, y'all. And that's playing out now. So I would say if there's something that you know that you need to say, because it won't leave you, you need to say it. Excuse me. That message was given to you to deliver. And I hope this helps.